Good day, everyone. Today we will discuss United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, starting from its background, mandate, powers and functions, educational policies, and critique for effectiveness.
Background.
Good day, everyone. Today we're examining UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. It is a unique experiment in international cooperation that has been transforming our global landscape since 1945. Born from the ashes of World War II, UNESCO was founded on November 16, 1945 in Paris, France. Its core belief is that lasting peace requires more than political treaties. It demands understanding between people. With 193 member states and 12 associate members, UNESCO has become a truly global organization. What are its core functions? First is education. Global learning standards, worldwide literacy support, expanding educational access. Second function is scientific research. Oceanography studies, ecological research, international scientific collaboration. And third, cultural preservation. World, World Heritage List Management. It protects 1,100 plus cultural sites and preserving global cultural landscapes. Fourth function is information and communication. Press freedom advocacy, international copyright standards, digital literacy promotion. UNESCO's journey hasn't been without obstacles. It faces temporary member state withdrawals, addresses membership controversies, and manages funding fluctuations. Despite these challenges, they've remained true to their mission, building peace in the minds of men and women. Beyond bureaucracy, UNESCO embodies a powerful idea that knowledge, cultural understanding, and scientific collaboration can transcend political boundaries. In a world fractured by walls of misunderstanding, UNESCO stands as a beacon, not just stopping conflict but leading the threads of human connection. We don't just dream of peace, we build it, one conversation, one shared story at a time.
Mandate.
Since a short background was already discussed, let's talk about the mandate of UNESCO. UNESCO is the United Nations specialized agency for education, science, and culture. Since its creation in 1945, the organization has worked to promote knowledge and education worldwide. Its close links with professional and academic communities and other partners in 193 countries put it in a key position to press for action. UNESCO works to create the conditions for dialogue among civilizations, cultures, and people based upon respect for commonly shared values. It is through this dialogue that the world can achieve global visions of sustainable development encompassing observance of human rights, mutual respect, and the alleviation of poverty, all of which are at the heart of UNESCO's mission and activities. UNESCO's mission is to contribute to the building of peace, the eradication of poverty, sustainable development, and intercultural dialogue through education, the sciences, culture, communication, and information.
Powers and functions.
Hello everyone. As for my part, I'll be discussing the powers and functions of UNESCO. So as you can see, these are the powers and functions of UNESCO. One is to reimagine education. Two is to design its policies. Three is to develop standard setting. Three is by catalyzing for international cooperation. And lastly is capacity building. So UNESCO, by reimagining education, UNESCO anticipates and responds to emerging trends and needs in education, as seen in its groundbreaking Futures of Education report, and so it is a global initiative to rethink how learning can shape the future of humanity and the planet. As for designing its policies, UNESCO works with such other countries to design, implement, and share successful education policies, and so it plans and best practices based on the data collection, monitoring, and dialogue with national authorities. As for its standard setting, UNESCO develops and monitors legal frameworks and normative instruments to ensure the right to education. This also includes the Convention Against Discrimination in Education and the recent landmark Global Convention on the Recognition of Qualifications in the Higher Education and an online monitor. As for catalyzing for international cooperation, UNESCO uses its convening power for international cooperation by promoting dialogue, exchange, and partnership among the global education community, including also the civil society and the youth. This includes also global conferences and exploring areas such as early childhood care and education in 2022, higher education also in 2022, adult learning in 2022, and for sustainable development. And lastly, as for the capacity building, UNESCO provides technical advice and support to develop the institutional and human capacity of countries to achieve their educational goals. And this includes the training of education practitioners and officers in multiple fields, including the education planning, curriculum design, data collection, and distance learning. So because UNESCO is the United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural organization, it seeks to build peace through international cooperation in education and the science and the culture. So that's all.
Educational policies.
Educational policies of UNESCO. So the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, it develops educational policies aimed at promoting inclusive, equitable, and quality education worldwide. So its policies are grounded in international frameworks such as the Education 2030 Agenda and also the SDG, or Sustainable Development Goal, SDG 4, which focuses on ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. So the key educational policies of UNESCO are the following. First, the Global Citizenship Education, or GCED, to foster peace, tolerance, and sustainability, and Education for Sustainable Development, or ESD, to address climate change and social responsibility. It also supports the Education in Emergencies, EIE, to ensure learning continuity during crisis. Emphasizing teacher quality, UNESCO promotes recruitment, training, and working conditions. The organization champions inclusive education, which advocates for digital literacy through ICT integration and enhances literacy programs and TVET for skill development. So in higher education, it supports quality assurance and cross-border recognition of academic and qualifications. So through these initiatives, UNESCO strives to ensure accessible and inclusive education for all.
Critic for effectiveness.
Resource constraints. UNESCO often faces resource constraints that demand strategic responses. Number 1 is understaffing, and number 2 is need for additional posts. The Evaluation Office of UNESCO needs additional professional posts to improve communication, knowledge, management, and the quality of the centralized evaluations. These additional resources are crucial for addressing the gaps identified in the period. Next is project management. Some initiatives lack clear results framework tied to effective monitoring and lack of strategic planning, the current approach to planning evaluations is not optimal. The evaluation office needs to take a more strategic approach to identify evaluation topics that address UNESCO's organizational needs and strategic policies. Evaluations are often planned based on immediate needs after the long-term strategic goals, which can lead to gaps and coverage in missed opportunities for organizational learning and improvement. Under this is inconsistent coverage. The coverage of the centralized evaluation has been inconsistent. Some sectors and field offices do not comply with the policy of allocating 3% of their budget to evaluation, leading to uneven evaluation coverage across the organization. Next is decentralized evaluations. Weaker in quality than corporate evaluation and lack of follow-up. So under lack of follow-up, there is a very little follow-up to decentralized evaluations, and they are not part of the evaluation office recommendation follow-up system. This lack of follow-up reduces the impact and utility of these evaluations. Strengthening systems to track the impact of decentralized evaluations and ensure that recommendations inform planning and decision-making as necessary. Next is communication issues. The findings of decentralized evaluations are not consistently communicated or disseminated. This limits their impact and ability to share lessons learned across the organizations. Under this also is weaker quality. Decentralized evaluations are generally of lower quality compared to corporate evaluations. This disparity is due to the lack of systemic quality assurance and technical backstop. Budget independence. The 3% allocation from the regular budget is positive but does not fully satisfy the need for budgetary independence.